Part 2.
Sleigh Mile, where was the hair going?
Asked Applebloom, climbing over a trash heap at the junkyard. She gagged through an old rotten banana peel off her hoof.
I told you, they couldn't find Trixie to return what was left of her cart. They put it here.
Silly Belle said, tripping over a can and falling down a slope of trash into Scootaloo and Applebloom, knocking them down to the bottom.
Why did they do that?
Asked Scootaloo, helping the other two up and dusting her off.
Was Head the Tails angry at her for the Ursa tearing it up?
Asked Applebloom.
Good point. Anyway, I thought it'd be nice if we could find whatever might be left in the wreck for her,
said Sleepy Belle, looking at the other two.
Hey, the Trixie's off freeing, so it's the right thing to do,
said Applebloom, looking around the surprisingly large junkyard.
Oh, where do we start? Sleepy Belle scratched her head. How come we never noticed this place before?
Well, I guess old Jess has to go somewhere, said Scootaloo with a shrug. All three sighed.
I guess we better get looking.
Checker chuckled, watching the gathering crowd around the town hall, many of them with clear anger on their faces. Perfect.
Everything is falling into place perfectly,
she said, taking out a little chessboard, her side including pawns representing the town's ponies as a whole.
All my little plans doing exactly what I want them to do.
See, again, here's the problem with the chess metaphor, and it's not just with Trixie, it's with whenever the chess metaphor is used. You can say, oh, this person's my pawn, all you want, but they're not going to perform exactly as pawns, or they're going to perform your little deeds, nor is the knight, the rook, the bishop, or the queen. I'm sure they may have titles, but on the battlefield, in the real battlefield, or even in real life, people don't always have titles. Sometimes, they're just men. This is why I prefer Go as a metaphor. Because all you have are black and white pieces. Faceless. Capable of going anywhere and doing anything. There's also another rule. And I don't think Checkers ever really had a chance to hear that until now. But no plan ever survives meeting the enemy. Oh, sure, you can plan all you want. You can make things fall into place perfectly as much as you want. But once you start adding that little bit of chaos into it, it's never gonna go complete. Let's watch. Miss Monarch? Helping Huth speak. Well, not that this isn't a perfect plan or anything like that, but how can you be so sure that the town police will run Trixie out of town? Asked Helping Huff, keeping a submissive posture.
Simple. They don't have to, said Checker. Trixie just has to think they will. And Trixie should be having a nice case of stage fright right now. For oh so many years, the spotlight I've had to share. Since the day you were born, between us attention's been torn, and that's something I've been unable to bear. Checker sung, looking over her checkboard. Every time you come close to checkmate, the spotlight is split between me and you. It's simpler that would simply not do. And lucky for me, it's I who controls your fate. Checker continued, picking out the chess piece telekinetically. Well, Trixie dear, it's about time you realize your place is nothing left at all. So be a good girl and finally take the fall. Because that's how it should be through my eyes. Checker brought her hoof down the chess piece, sharing into magical sparks. Checker looked up at the gathering with a cold smirk and a chilling chuckle. She clapped her hooves once. The diamond dogs put a black cloak on her, and she pulled it such that her face was hidden from the distance, so it couldn't be identified. But I guess
sometimes when you really think about it, the people who really also like to use chess pieces are the ones who think they can control everything. And that everybody is this stable, one-note thing that they can manipulate and control and that they have mastery over. And I guess that's important to know what checker is. Fluttershy peeked out from behind the door in Town Hall.
Those ponies don't look too happy.
Of course not, said Rainbow Dash. We come all out of bed early on the weekend. I'd be cranky too.
She said, looking to the others.
Where's Trixie?
Twilight looked around. That's strange. She was right here.
I don't feel like she's in the bike,
said Applejack, looking up at the pulleys for the currents of the stage outside City Hall, commonly used for public announcements.
You know, those pulleys need a good oiling. They probably squeak like blue blazes.
Later, let's concentrate on finding Trixie, Twilight said, then walked around. Trixie! As he called, then peeked into another hallway, finding Trixie, but not in a good state. Trixie? Trixie was curled up in a fetal position, trembling in fear. Trixie, are you all right? Asked Twilight, concern clear in her face as she trotted over to her friend. What's wrong? Trixie slowly looked up at her.
Twilight, I don't think I can do this. Who am I kidding? They're not going to forgive someone like me. They're just going to chase me out of town. It would not be the first time.
Twilight sighed and pulled Trixie up with telekinesis. Trixie, they're not going to chase you out of town, she said, though she wasn't completely sure herself. They forgave Princess Luna for being Nightmare Moon, eventually. It didn't help she came on Nightmare Night. Anyway, they've forgiven me for messing up. I'm sure they'll forgive you if you honestly apologize. Or at the very least give you the chance to earn forgiveness. They're not mean ponies, Trixie. They can overreact sometimes. During the Iron Will thing, they took all his lessons too seriously. Trixie blinked.
Iron Will?
A Minotaur who gave him a motivational seminar. He had to give another one when all was said and done to use your anger as a tool or don't be its fool. Because everybody took his lectures too seriously.
Trixie took his seminar once. Where do you think she got her stage style?
That explains so much. Anyway, the point is, most of the time, Ponyville's a sweet place to live. They'll forgive you if you honestly apologize. I seem to do it with that whole Gabby Gums incident.
Gabby Gums?
Long story, I'll show you later. So please, give it a chance, said Twilight, giving her an honest smile. If they don't accept you, I promise we won't let them chase you out of town. Trixie took a deep breath.
All right. Trixie supposes she will. Thank you, Twilight.
Trixie slowly trotted out of the platform. She saw glares looking back at her. Glares of anger, maybe hatred.
Hey! It's that Trixie who done that Ursula take us!
Yelled a voice from the crowd. They got a few others to scream a few things. And Trixie could hear the booing now. Checker chuckled, slipped back into the crowd, comfortable with his eyes.
Yes, that was Trixie,
Trixie said, starting to sweat. Her eyes dived for the crowd, seeing all of theirs on her. She could normally relish in that, but now felt terrified because she swore she saw hatred for her in every last one of them.
Trixie!
A boo came from the crowd. Trixie only saw a finger slink into the crowd when she saw the source of it.
Trixie!
Another boo, this time joined by others.
Trixie!
Get off the stage, you joik!
Yelled a female voice. Trixie almost recognized it. Several others joined it. Trixie felt her heart race increase. She saw angry eyes looking everywhere she looked.
Trixie just wants to say she's...
Trixie said rapidly as she could before getting another boo. Instead, a rotten tomato flew out of the crowd and hit her in the face, knocking on her flanks, followed by two more hitting her in the head as well. Trixie's eyes teared up. She heard laughing in her ears. They had to be laughing at her. They had to be. What else would they be doing? Sorry, Trixie muttered. Tears streaming down her face as she galloped up the stage, several rotten tomatoes hitting her in the stage behind her. Trixie! Yelled Twilight, running after her, and 5 others following suit. Checker chuckled under her breath, putting another rotten tomato in a basket with her telekinesis. Checkmate, she said, slinking back before anyone noticed where her projectiles had originated. Trixie! Twilight yelled, coming out and catching up the mayor. Trixie, are you alright?
Of course Trixie's not alright! She just got pelted with vegetables and chased off stage!
Yelled Trixie, tears running down her face.
They're not going to forgive Trixie, Twilight! I was stupid to think they would.
Twilight frowned, putting a hoof on her shoulder. Trixie.
Look, just because there's a few jerks in the crowd doesn't mean you should throw in the towel, said Rainbow Dash, coming up to her. Yeah, cheer up, said Pinkie Pie. I know every pony in Ponyville, and I can promise that about 90% of the town will at least give you a chance. Trixie doesn't think they will,
said Trixie, looking back as she was about to break down crying.
Oh, come on. I'm sure they will, said Pinkie before taking a deep breath. Is she going to? No mare's an island who's ever been in love, bringing understanding every push and shove.
Yep, let's play Path for you, Applejack replied.
Just as fundamental as the stars above, it's benefiting every hand in glove. And you told me it's a cold day in Hades when you surrender, for love and a chance to remember. What we have and hold is more precious than silver or gold. Is now really a time for a song. When I walk with you, when I talk with you, everything will be fine. When I walk with you, when I talk with you, everything will be fine, will be fine. Trixie fails to see how it's coincidental we have met before. Let this be the time and place that we explore, with no hesitation knocking at that door. Open your heart and love forevermore. And I tell you it's a cold day in Hades, but we remember that song that starts out, love me tender, in that queen of hearts. When I walk with you, when I talk with you, everything will be fine. When I walk with you, when I talk with you, everything will be fine, will be fine.
Pinkie sang, hugging Trixie. Trixie was surprised, but gently returned a hug.
We'll be fine,
Pinkie sang, taking a step back and producing a tissue from off screen for Trixie to wipe her tears away, as the rest of the group put her hose on Trixie's back to support her.
You're painting a picture of love and pine. I don't have time, and what time remains, what I have just tried to explain flew by you. What can I do with a heart of steel? I would impart what I've come to feel. Love is the answer, and it is real. I'll always be there beside you. When I walk with you, when I talk with you, it will be fine. You really mean that?
Asked Trixie, looking at all her friends. She felt warm inside, having such kindness direct her way. Rarity magically cleaned Trixie up. Suddenly, darling.
Of course, Trixie. We never think of leaving a friend behind. Of course, Trixie. We never think of leaving a friend behind.
Darn tootin', we ain't never gonna leave our friend when they need us. I'm not the element of loyalty for nothing. No way we leave you hanging.
We'll be there for you, if it's all right with you.
When I walk with you,
When I talk with you, it will be fine.
Pinky looked confused. Looked at Twilight.
Twilight, do we keep going with this, or do we think Paul and Ringo are going to arrest us for doing this?
I think this song will be fine. Oh, director, do you think we've used this song? Well, I haven't heard anybody complain on Fall of Starfleet. Besides, this is probably my favorite Power of Friendship song of all time, and it's done by two of some of my favorite band members.
It will be fine.
Pinky finished, Trixie receiving her group hug. Trixie looked at her friends, unsure what to think.
Trixie! I don't know what to say, except thank you all.
No need to thank us, Sugar Cube. We're just doing what friends do, said Applejack, patting the mare on the back. That sounds likely.
Hey! I'm Pinkie Pie, and this story has songs! How could I not get one?
Pinky replied with a cheerful smile, getting confused looks from everyone. As I said before, and I've said it multiple times, 1. This is MLP. A song cue is granted. It's guaranteed. 2. When you go through one of my stories, you better prepare for a song cue. Because I'm going to make you sing. Hell, I've done that on a few of my role plays when I DM'd. Pinky replied with a tearful smile, getting confused looks from everyone. No, I've had some of my characters actually sing during a roleplay session when I've DM'd. I'm kind of weird like that.
Right, but how will Trixie get out of this mess?
Asked Trixie, confused. Not entirely convinced she could.
She just got pelted with tomatoes and chased on stage.
Let's go tell all those ponies you changed, said Rainbow, looking eager to do that.
No,
said Trixie, seriousness in her tone.
Why not? Don't believe us,
Rainbow replied, looking confused.
Yes, they'll believe it because you said it,
said Trixie with a sigh.
Trixie appreciates everything you've done for her, but Trixie doesn't want ponies to forgive her just because someone else tells them to. And then Trixie did nothing but let someone else do the work she rightly should do to fix her own mess.
Rainbow prepared to reply, but sighed and shut up. She knew it was partly Trixie not wanting others to help her, but she knew how she was. But it was partly because Trixie was right. That won't be easy. I know that much, but after that Spy Pants incident, I helped out around town to make up for it.
What is that Spy Pants incident you keep talking about anyway?
Asked Trixie, raising an eyebrow.
The last time Twilight was late getting her assignment to Celestia,
exclaimed Pinkie Pie. Twilight blushed heavily. I'd been trying to avoid talking about it, but so for Trixie's look, she wouldn't rest until she knew. I was really stressed from everything Discord put us through, and I missed a friendship letter to Celestia. I kind of went temporarily insane and used a wanted needed spell on the entire town on accident. Trixie sighed.
And what Discord did to you, you're probably the only pony he played with to have a nervous breakdown. Ugh, wanted needed spell. Trixie is quite familiar with it,
the blue mare stated, giving an unnerved look. Twilight blinked. You've used it?
Celestia, no. Trixie's special talent doesn't lend itself well to mind magic outside of a few little stage hypnosis spells. She can't make anyone do anything truly against their will. At least not something they're completely opposed to doing. Trixie's fairly certain her sister brainwashed her with it as a filly several times just to get in trouble with our father,
explained Trixie, frowning at her memories.
Trixie could never prove it to her father, but her sister was always a bully to her.
Twilight gasped. Trixie, that's awful. Blue Stormare nodded.
Yes, it was. Trixie's sister made her foalhood miserable. She couldn't stand for Trixie to do anything that she took the spotlight from her in any fashion.
And no, not just off her. She had to share it with Trixie and all. I'm sorry. I've been bullied, but my big brother always was so nice to me, said Twilight, not so sure to say. You have a brother? Well, remember that changeling attack about a month ago? Yes. Trixie came to Canterlot, hoping to get a job fixing up the damage. No such luck. What about it? Well... Trixie! Yelled three voices. Trixie was somewhat relieved to hear the humor Crusaders, so she wouldn't have to explain that her brother was a guard and married to Princess Cadence. Trixie's had too many bombshells today without adding another. Girls! Asked Trixie, looking over as the three fillies ran up. It was a couple of seconds later before everyone covered their noses.
Ugh, what is that smell?
Humor Crusaders blushed a little, covered in trash and dirt.
Well, I spent the day rummaging through the dump,
said Belle sheepishly.
Sweetie Belle, why would you do something like that? Do you have any idea how difficult it would be to get the stains out of your fur?
Asked Rarity, looking like it was the worst possible thing! Ugh.
Where did that count?
I don't know, Trixie. I mean, I'm sitting in a chair here doing this. I don't know where that couch came from.
Wait, did we always have a couch?
Did we? Bravestar, do you remember? Nope, quite not, like. All Might? Nope.
Sorry? Oh, you brought it. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
During the faint that went along with it, Trixie blinked.
Where does she get the couch? Sis, we did so we could find something,
said Sleepbell, giving a smile. Trixie, I like these are yours, said Apple Bloom. Scootaloo pulling the wagon around to reveal a pouch of bits, a purple magician's hat, and cape covered in stars, both tattered and dirty. A few other odds and ends. Trixie's eyes went wide.
These are your things, said Scootaloo, giving a smile. What's left of them, anyway?
Well, you know you lost everything when you lost your cart, so we found a way to manage to pull these things out of it, said Apple Bloom, then frowned. Sorry, it ain't much. It's all we can find. Trixie was in a daze.
Thank you,
the mayor said, before heading over and picking up her cape, the blue jewel still in its proper place. She looked at her reflection, her eyes tearing up.
Trixie needed a good deed done to her today.
Applesack and Rarity put a hoof on her sister's shoulders, while Rainbow put one on Scootaloo, all with proud smiles. Helping Hoof watched this and headed back to Checker, who was looking quite smug. Miss Monarch? Checker looked down. You may speak. Helping Hoof opened his mouth to speak, then looked back towards the group.
Well?
Oh, it's nothing. I just wanted to say congratulations. Your plan went off flawlessly.
Yes, it did, didn't it? Oh, so this is Gabby Gums,
said Trixie, looking through an archived version of it with a chuckle. She desperately needed it after the day she had.
My, those three really would make good tabloid journalists.
Twilight nodded, a little embarrassed. Yeah, but they ended up getting a little too mean for everybody's taste.
Hey, Twilight.
Isn't that the issue with...
What? Where did they? How did they? Trixie did no such thing!
Great and powerful Trixie, secrets revealed.
Trixie's act only involved hamsters that one time, and the one who hired Trixie said there'd only be a few hamsters! Trixie's show failed because there were nom marks on everything!
Trixie! Yelled Twilight, putting her hands on Trixie's shoulders. Calm down. Yes, it's her fault they said those things. They said some nasty stuff about me, too. They learned their lesson already and apologized to the entire town and got punished enough. Trixie blushed.
Oh, Trixie apologizes. Trixie may have overreacted.
What happened with the hamsters? Asked Spike, scratching his head.
Trixie doesn't want to talk about it,
said Trixie, sorry. They were everywhere. Trixie then sighed.
Twilight, speaking of forgiven...
I will arrange with Mayor tomorrow, so you'll be doing community service all over Ponyville. You earn the money to pay back the ponies who were hurt by the Ursa attack, said Twilight, placing a hoof on Trixie's shoulder.
You'll make it out to Ponyville. I know you will. Trixie looked down at the jewel her grandmother had given her all those years ago. A certain eyes reflected back on her.
Trixie will do her best, Twilight.
Checker chuckled, turning away from the library. Miss Monarch, are you going to be doing anything more tonight? Asked Helping Hoof, looking frightened as you would, as did the Diamond Dogs.
Maybe not,
said Checker with an icy smirk.
Let them build her back up just a little bit. I'll make her fall all the harder when I pull the rug out from under her. I've got other dreams to visit tonight.
You know, I would say that she's evil, but I think I'm repeating myself.